What we're going to be tying now is going to be an RS2. First thing that you're going to do before you start is you're going to take a piece of your thread and you're just going to cut some off. You'll see here in a minute why we did that. The second thing we're going to do here is we're going to tie in. I'm using some tan thread. We're going to tie a tan RS2. Then you're going to take your two Microfibetts, these little guys, and you're going to tie those in. You want them to be about the length of the hook shank. And we're very loosely going to get those started here. I'm just going to wrap those backwards, making sure they stay right on top of the hook. I don't want them to roll too much to either side. And you carefully kind of do this. Just like so. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stroke those tails up a little. And I'm going to take that piece of thread that I had cut off just a minute ago, and I'm actually going to take it and put it around the bend of the hook, just like so. Then I'm actually going to take those tails and I'm going to just try to split them. And what I'm going to do is slide that thread up in between them. And it takes a little bit of playing on with some of these, just like so. And basically what that does is you can see it splaying the tails. And the harder you pull, the more you can spread them. If you pull too hard, you spread them too much. So all I do is basically just place that thread right in between them. I don't want it to be too tight. Just like so. Then I secure that piece of thread down. Then you can cut out that thread. Cut out the tag ends of those Microfibetts. You can see their tails are nice and split. Then I'm going to wrap back to where I tied in those tails, and I'm going to apply some dubbing. In this case I'm using tan. You can do multiple different colors. You can do blacks, browns, olives. You got to be careful how much dubbing you use. You really just want to apply enough to coat the thread. You got to be real careful not to put too much on. And I like my RS2s to be dubbed fairly light. I don't like them too bulky, too shaggy. And just add a little bit kind of as you go. Then I take my thread here about 2/3 of the way up. Now you're ready for your wing. You can also use multiple different colors for this. You can use grays and browns. I like to put black wings on my RS2s. Gray is probably the most common, and all I'm going to use here is a CDC puff. And I'm just going to tie that in. About 2/3 of the way, like I had said. And I secure it. Then you can trim out the blunt ends of those puffs. And I just clean it up a little bit. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to apply some dubbing for the head. This kind of rounds out the fly and cleans it up a little bit. Covers up the thread that you just tied down the CDC with. And you got to be real careful not to overdo it here. You can put too much on, so I just put a little ball, just like that. And then you're ready to whip finish. There's whip finish right there behind the eye. there's your RS2. Very simple fly to tie, very effective for a Mayfly nymph. I think it also imitates a midge. Kind of puff out that CDC a little bit. That's all there is to the RS2.